What's up, Vintage Comic fans? Fens the Spook coming at you here with a little double dose, a little 2-for-1 video session tonight, you lucky dogs. I posted a video of an eBay purchase I made earlier. It should be up here soon when it's done uploading. It was a couple Shadow comics, a small collection of Shadow comics I bought off eBay. So if that sounds cool to you, go check that out. But anyway, I decided to, kind of throw a little key video in there. I don't do too many of these. I don't want to say I've got a lot of keys, but I've got more than I've shown for sure. We'll get to them as time goes on. I want to kind of leak them out as we go. I don't want to do the, the very classic and kind of obvious, like, oh, here's all my keys video. Because, I don't know. I don't feel like a collection is defined by its keys. I mean, if you have something like ridiculous, like Action Comics #1, I mean, sure. But I think, more like, I dig collections that have themes to them and people who collect kind of off the beaten path stuff rather than just, oh, here's my box full of insane comics. But that being said, we all love our keys, right? So here's another one of mine. I've already showcased one key. It was House of Secrets 92, the first Swamp Thing. It was actually the first video on the channel, so check that out if that sounds cool as well. This is Fantastic 448, first Silver Surfer and first Galactus. Love double first appearances, right? Not too many of those. Another good one's like Giant Size X-Men. You get a lot in that one. But this is a nice double. First Surfer, first Galactus. What's really cool about this, I'm not going to open it up or anything. I mean, maybe one day I'll start doing insides of these keys, but I got to get a much better setup before I try that. The Galactus, and if you probably, who Galactus is, I'm sure, the giant eater of worlds with the kind of purple suit. In this comic, he has this like green, red suit, almost very strange looking, and it's what sold me on it. I was kind of on the fence about this. It's a book I've always wanted. I kind of like Galactus a lot. Surfer's cool, no hate there, but it's really more for Galactus that I bought this, and the fact that they're both in it makes it really sweet. But yeah, the Galactus, the cameo, or it's not even a cameo, but the brief appearance at the end is just real interesting. He's very different looking than, in terms of his coloring, than you'd think he normally would be, and so it kind of really caught my attention. But I don't know. I don't want to say this is the low light of my keys, so I guess I should stop here and say this video is kind of tongue-in-cheek. I don't hate this book, as kind of the description or title might say I do. It is definitely probably the least favorite of my keys. It's what I call my my barter book. I have this and the other two that go with it, which I'll show in just a minute. I don't know. I certainly don't hate this book, so let's get that out of the way, you know what I'm saying? But I understand the value and how, special this is. And it's a special book. So this is, first world problems kind of thing. But I don't know. Have you ever had a key that you just maybe paid too much for, or you bought and thought was just like, oh, the biggest thing in the world, and then later you're kind of like, this isn't, it's not quite, or maybe you just didn't enjoy it like you thought you would, right? That's kind of where I'm at on this book. I really wanted it for a while. I finally bought it. And in, a good shape, too, for what I'm looking at. Again, I'll kind of bring it up closer here in just a second. But I'm not looking for near mints on this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't have that kind of bread to be paying out, thousands of dollars for high-end keys and stuff like that. Or tens of thousands, in some cases. But, this was a mediocre book at a mediocre price. I didn't pay, a ton of money, but it wasn't cheap, and it's still not cheap. But the problem with this book, the reason I'm a little soft on it, well, there you go. That's kind of the thing. I'm just cool on this book. Like, the faucet just went to cold on me. I don't really get excited for this book. It doesn't feel like a big deal to me. It should. I'm aware of that, but it just doesn't. Actually, as I'm speaking, I'm kind of, appreciating it a little more. It's probably the longest I've looked at it in a very long time like this. But, yeah, it's a Jack Kirby book, which kind of is probably part of the problem. I'm going to come out of the closet a little bit here. I'm not a Jack Kirby lover. I don't, hate on Jack Kirby or anything like that. I mean, that'd be just stupid. He's a comics god, but personally, I'm just not into his art style that much. I mean, what it is, there's guys like that. He is what he is, he's just, like I said, a comics legend. There's no disputing that. But just personally, I prefer other artists, you know what I mean? In this particular cover, I just find kind of whack. Like, the Watcher looks kind of weird to me, like very lumpy-headed and stuff. I don't really like Jack Kirby's faces. He draws really cool scenes, battle scenes, and, with the space, the little, I don't know, I think it's called, like, the Kirby effect, where these, like, weird, like, kind of cosmic rays everywhere. That's Kirby, and I like that kind of stuff. I just really don't like his faces too much, so couple reasons I'm not hot on this book, and I paid, like I said, a little bit more than I probably wanted to. Nobody wants to pay retail. You always want to pay under, and when you have to pay close to retail for something, it probably does diminish it a little bit. So again, first world problems, but this is probably my least favorite key that I own. It's probably the one that I'll use to get something else that I want. One of the guys that I'm kind of a dealer I know, he's got an X-Men #3 that I was looking at that I'm going to see if I can't maybe work out a trade. The books I'm going to show here probably together are a little bit more valuable than that X-Men 3, so we probably have to throw a couple other things in there, but I don't know. We'll see. I talk the talk. I probably won't ever get rid of this, but anyway. So there we go. Fantastic Four 48. First Galactus, first Silver Surfer, #1 in the Galactus Trilogy. Let me see if I can get it close without getting it just ruined up by glare. Yeah, that's not terrible. It's in a top loader and a bag, so it's going to kind of make it a little bit harder to get the glare to chill out. But I got a little bit of a red stain up here in the comics code. It's just, kind of soft on the edges, not real tight. Like I said, probably more like a fine minus, like a 5.5, I think, to be honest. So, cool book, though, right? I mean, it's not terrible, just, like I said, kind of a tongue-in-cheek, least favorite of my keys. So, the next one here, part of the same series, part of the Galactus Trilogy. Actually, let me move those down. Let me see if I can get them both kind of in the better light. Again, let me know what you think about this light, if you felt like my previous videos were too dark, or the glare was bad. It's a different kind of glare. I mean, there's no way to get around the glare that I found here, but I think I've got it a little better here. Maybe the colors will look a little better to you. I don't know. Let me know, guys. But anyway, so there's Fantastic Four 49. Now, this is what I mean about not really liking Jack Kirby sometimes. I mean, look at the Fantastic Four 48 on the right. That's the book. That's the big key. That's First Surfer. That's First Galactus. But Fantastic Four 49 is like, just way, far better cover. Far better. Let's kind of isolate it for a second here, so you can just kind of appreciate it, right? That is the cover, man. That is the cover that really kind of pulled me the other way, made me pull my punch when I was kind of talking the Kirby hate, amongst the people I talked this stuff with. I was really not a Kirby fan. I would kind of say there's really nothing Kirby does that gets my blood pumping, but this cover is just out of control. Galactus, and he never looks better. He's got the Surfer coming down. I mean, I don't know if you know the story, but just real briefly, Galactus is like a world eater. The Surfer is his herald. He goes from planet to planet looking for planets for Galactus to eat. And, the storyline is this is what happens when they come upon the Earth. It's a 3-part series, 48, 49, and 50. So this is the second part. This is actually what's kept me from selling this or trading this has been this book. I really like this book. I really like this cover. This is coming from a guy who's not really a Jack Kirby fan. This cover even, gets to me. This cover's really sick. Probably one of the best Jack Kirby covers out there. So yeah, there's Fantastic Four 49. Probably the best of the three. Probably, I don't want to say a solid fine. I mean, because there's a little bit of a color breakdown here. I don't know if you'll be able to catch that. I'll try to bring it in a little bit here again. See if I can get it in without the glare being ridiculous. But, there's that. It's, like I said, it's got a little bit of a roll, a little bit of some, damage up top. A press would be really helpful for these books, I think. I think all three of these books would do well going through a press. In fact, another guy I know bought a press, and, we haven't really figured out the best way to use it yet. Our results have been less than fantastic so far. Fantastic, get it? But we've been, doing it on 50-cent books and stuff like that out of the bins, just the cheap bins, messing around, trying to find the exact temperature, the exact time, the exact minute amount of, mist that you would spray, because you have to, well, you don't have to, but you do use moisture when you press something. It's just you have to use a so light amount that you don't mess the book up. But I'm going off here. We'll do a video about the press once we get it working. I'll probably demonstrate it and show you guys how it works and kind of show you the difference in a comic that's been, not pressed versus pressed. But yeah, these comics could use a pressing. I think it would actually probably raise them up all a grade or two if you could get them all, get the roll out of them. So there's Fantastic Four 49. Real cool one for 48. Whoops, kind of getting out of order here. And the last one is Fantastic Four 50. Again, just the end of the end of the Galactus trilogy. First solo Silver Surfer cover. I think this cover kind of demonstrates the differences, the extremes of Jack Kirby. That Silver Surfer just couldn't look sicker. I mean, seriously, that just Silver Surfer is out of control. And then look at Sue Storm's face. Just again, lumpy, potato-faced. I'm not making the point to diss Jack Kirby here. I'm simply explaining my feelings behind this. I feel like his faces are just real hit or miss. When he's drawing, like human faces like Sue Storm or Reed Richards there. Reed Richards' face looks fine. The Thing looks pretty cool, but Sue Storm is, I don't know, her face just looks real weird to me here. And I feel like that's what a lot of Jack Kirby stuff looks like. But this is definitely the high point of his career. I mean, that Silver Surfer, I don't think anybody could draw it better. So, like I said, I'm not bashing on Kirby. You'd be ridiculous to do that. But just, again, if I can appreciate these as a guy who's not really a Kirby fan, then, hopefully everyone else can kind of get what's going on there. This is probably the worst of the three. It's got a real nasty color break right here and a chip out of there. It's probably the lowest. This one's probably, I'd hate to call it a VG, but maybe like a VG plus. If someone was just, it was my birthday and Christmas all on the same day, maybe I'd get a 5 on it, but so, I don't know. They're all mid-grade. So again, this is a series I don't know how long I'll hold on to. If something really sharp comes along, I'm really hot for Brave and the Bold 24. Wow, no, I did not just say 24. Brave and the Bold 28, First Justice League, which is currently out of my price range. But if I could trade this, plus some more money, maybe get myself a copy of that would be cool. So there's some things I would swap for this book, but I've been saying that for, probably a year and a half now. So anyway, this is the Galactus Trilogy one more time. We'll flip through it real quick and then end the video here. Fantastic 448, First Silver Surfer, First Galactus, that one's the key. Fantastic 449, and Fantastic 450. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. Again, this is the keys that I hate in my collection, quote unquote. I don't hate them at all. They're cool as hell, but they're probably the least favorite. They're just the least interesting to me, honestly. Hopefully I'll trade them out for something even cooler and show you guys then. But thanks for sticking with me, guys. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up this week. I just kind of went on an eBay binge this weekend, so a lot of cool stuff coming in. Check those videos out and like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys.